Warning, strong language ahead. You have been warned.
How's it going, everybody's? Uh, Today is something new, and don't worry, it's not a Minecraft playthrough, because this is my guilty pleasure game that I play, mostly, by myself, for the most part. But today I'm gonna try something new, a series I'm gonna call The Ram's Den, and it's mostly gonna be, a 10 to 12 minute segment, basically about me bitching about something. Mostly opinionative because I don't do research because I'm not in high school anymore, and this ain't no goddamn research paper. All right, it's mostly just gonna be me talking slash bitching about a topic that I feel strongly about for roughly 10 to 12 minutes. And today's topic is actually going to be clickbait, whether it be on YouTube or just, media news in general. Um, and I understand its usefulness in the community of YouTube, where it's like, oh, I don't have good content, let's just make a bullshit title to have people watch my stuff. For example, any of the Infinite Warfare supply drop openings you see. Like, for example, I saw one the other day and it made me laugh a little bit. It was like, what was it? Oh, Infinite War supply drop opening, greatest epics ever. And it's, 15-minute video of somebody opening Infinite Warfare supply drops, and he only got one epic variant. Now, to me, that's not the greatest epic variant you could get, because it was just for a pistol. I mean, I don't really play Infinite Warfare that much, so I don't know if it's the best, but it honestly didn't look it, because it wasn't the fucking... It wasn't the one where it gives the Oni a one-shot like the Marshals from Black Ops 3, but, like, it's just clickbait is a very touchy subject, because most people are like, oh, it's not clickbait, and other people are like, this is bullshit clickbait, why you do this. But there are some instances where clickbait is quite clever and funny. A couple months back, I saw one, and it was about Stan Lee, and it was like, Stan Lee dies 93 or whatever on his home, and then I read it thinking he actually died, and come to find out, they spelt it as in dyeing his hair. And I was like, that's clever, because it got you to click on it thinking he died, but it's just talking about how he dyes his hair to keep it the same color. That's clever. Pissed a lot of people off, guaranteed, but it's clever. Now, my personal standpoint on clickbait is that it's honestly bullshit. Like, my videos are I'm gonna try not to clickbait it on purpose, but if it's something funny and I have to clickbait to make it seem funny, I'm gonna do it. Also, I apologize because I've been sick as fuck lately. And this is literally the most rambling video series you're ever gonna see. Gonna try to do this every 2 weeks or so. And it's not just gonna be what, stuff I want to talk about. Eventually I'm gonna ask what you people watching are gonna want me to bitch about, talk about, opinionative about. And sometimes I might do research on it, because, quite frankly, I might not know nothing about it. But in this case, it's clickbait. And, back to the topic at hand, like, clickbait in the media, I mean, like, that's why I honestly like to stick to newspaper, because there's not a lot of clickbait. It's just it's headlines that catch your attention, and you read it because it's something you want to read. Whereas on the internet, you click on an ad, or you click on a online newspaper article, for example, because it's something that you think is interesting. Cops bust heroin operation. You click on it, you get an ad. Fine, you get rid of the ad, and you read it, and you find out it was one person selling heroin or drugs out of this one little apartment, and it was one cop who did it. To me, that's not a heroin bust. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, once you click on that newspaper article and you bring up an ad, they've made their money. They've made their ad revenue off of you just clicking on that page to read what you would have thought would have been a great article. But it's not. It's just you making them money for reading something that you thought was going to be interesting. And you don't even have to read it. You just have to click on it. And once you click on it, they've made their money off of you. So it doesn't matter if you finish and read the whole article. You could click off of it after reading that there's only one cop and one person in the whole situation. They've already made their money off of it. It's media and the standpoint of news shouldn't clickbait, because news is how people get information. It's how you learn about trending events. That's, you know, for example, if you don't use Twitter like I only do for this, I don't use Twitter other than this. I never have, never will. I don't like Twitter. But if you don't use Twitter like me or some older people, and, you know, you're scrolling through the internet and you find an article you want to read because you think it's something important, you read it and come to find out it's not important at all. It's just you getting clickbaited into reading this article that somebody decided to bullshit their way through, so this way their company or their, you know, their article, you know, their whatever you want to call it, their web page for their news can get money. So they can, you know, just get money. That's all it is. They don't care if it's good news. They don't care if it's bad news. They just want to be able to clickbait you in and make money. Now that's wrong. I mean, I know a lot of YouTubers basically do the same thing, you know, clickbait you in. You watch the whole video for, oh, excuse me, for what the thumbnail says, and then you come to find out that it's not in that video and you're screwed. Just life, I guess, apparently now that we're just fine with it. That we're fine with people just being like, oh yeah, this didn't happen in this video, or in this article it didn't happen. So, you know, good luck finding out what really happened, because we're not going to tell you. I mean, that's wrong. You know, clickbaiting on YouTube, that's fine, you know. It's just, you know, it's entertainment. Entertainment, you know, fine. Clickbait for your entertainment. But when it comes to actual news, actual important news, you know, like for example, a heroin bust in your neighborhood, and you want to find out about it, you know, who it was, where it was, so you know if you need to, you know, check anything, or that's, you know, and then you go click on it and you find out that it, you know, was one person and you're fine, and you're just like, oh, well, what the hell? Why'd they make it seem like it was so much worse? And then, well, that's clickbait for you. News should not clickbait. I find it very wrong that news would clickbait so it could get more money off of you, because they can't get good money because they can't get good stories. You know, they run the bad stories, get a clickbaity title, and then they just ride it from there and they make money off of it. It's wrong. It's very wrong, but it works apparently. And I apologize if you do find this a little ranty and boring, but that's what the series is about. And it's not always going to be me playing Minecraft, just for a fair warning. And I don't do voiceovers, so it's, you know, live right now, mining sugarcane, yada yada. I just robbed the thing over there. So sometimes I might stop and talk to myself about the game, because that's what I do. And I keep breaking away from the actual subject of clickbait, but it's... Need to fix that. But, it's... clickbait in media depends on what form of media style you use. If you are an entertainer, like on YouTube, it's okay to clickbait. You know, I mean, to an extent, it's okay to clickbait. I mean, if you, you know, just post a video and you find something funny, you clickbait it, people find it hilarious, that's fine. But don't use your clickbait to make people feel like they have to watch it. You know, don't make it feel like they have to watch your stupid fucking clickbaity video because you can't make good content yourself. I mean, I understand that in this day and age of YouTube, that's basically how it has to work. You have to clickbait now to get people to watch, because everybody's so set in their ways of watching the YouTubers they've watched for 2, 5, 3, however many years that they've been on YouTube, that they don't want to branch out. They don't want to watch new YouTubers. Like me, for example. Like, they don't want to watch me for my content. They want to watch, for example, I don't know, anybody else I've been watching for years. I don't want to say names, just in case, but still, like, they want to watch these specific YouTubers because they've been watching them for years, and, you know, however long that they themselves have been watching YouTube, they don't want to branch out, so you have to clickbait those people in, and I find that wrong. I mean, clickbait on YouTube itself is fine, but if you have to clickbait because you don't have interesting content, kind of like myself here, you know, oh, Monopoly and Dead Island, ooh, some Smite. Nobody cares about Smite. You know, that's different, but I'm gonna try to not use clickbait to lure people in. I want people to, you know, be interested in the stuff that I make and be able to watch my stuff and enjoy it. I don't want to be able to clickbait them in for, like, for example, a Smite title. Smite, oh, look at the kill feed, and I go 0, 12, and like 15. Like, that's wrong. That's wrong. I mean, if Tyler or Little Nick, my two friends that I normally play Smite with, if they go off, I'll make a title based around them. Like, I don't know yet because, quite frankly, I haven't paid attention that much. But, like, that's, you know, that's how it's just, that's just how it's gonna be. But anyways, thanks for listening to me rant for, I can only assume, is far too long. If you have any ideas for future episodes that I'm willing to do, let me know in the comments, Twitter, or if you know me personally, which most of you do, text me. And I will try to do it in the next, 2 weeks or so. Yeah, I'll post the next one on the 21st-ish. Don't quote me on that, because things might change. But until then, I hope you all have a wonderful time. Like, subscribe, share, follow me on Twitter. I don't really care anymore. But I'll see you all in the next video, which is tomorrow, but we don't talk about that. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Adios. See you later. Peace.